Welcome guys to another episode of United Transfer Talk, and in this 12th video I'm going to talk over 5 stories that I've got over the past few weeks that that has been catching my eye, and also keeping you up to date with the very latest rumours about the United transfers scenario. And the first one, like a lot of you guys said in the last video of United Talk, that I didn't include the section about Jisung Park, and here I'm just going to talk about it quickly because I wanted to give him a little special section, if you like, to start the show, because in the last one there was too many stories going on, and I thought you guys would want to hear my opinion on Park in a little bit more detail in their special segment. And Park Jisung, as you know, or Jisung Park, he was sold to QPR earlier last week for £2 million. And a lot of you guys and myself was quite upset about the move, because we all felt that how Park was kind of like the consummate professional, of the modern day. Never give in, always give his 100% every single week, no matter what is the situation within the match. He never complained about being on the bench or nothing like that. So he was just dreamed as a player, and just seemed a genuinely nice guy, and everyone just, I think, backed Park. And there was a lot of cynicism about his move to United 7 years ago from PSV, because not a lot of people knew him. He wasn't established within Europe, and everyone thought that Park was signed purely on the fact that he would sell us United shirts within South Korea. But that has been really wrong, because Park has proven himself in big game Champions League games, Premier League games, week in, week out, that he's a top class player. He might not be the most technical player in the world, but like I said, his enthusiasm for the game and his work ethic couldn't be faulted at all. Every single time he pulled on the shirt, he really looked like as though he's given his all, and that's all you can ask for from any player. And I would rather have Park, who is not as technically brilliant as someone like, say, Balotelli, but to have his work rate within the team really does kind of like add an extra dimension to a team, because you do need these hard-working players as well as your match winners, and Park was one of those, and he was the consummate professional, like I said before. So I'm sure a lot of you guys would share the same feeling as me, to say the best of luck to Jisung Park at QPR. I hope that he doesn't score against us, hopefully, because I don't know what I would do, because I couldn't get myself motivated to even boo him, because he's such a nice guy and such like that. So I hope Park doesn't score and doesn't have any kind of luck against us, unfortunately. But there you go, Park Ji-sung gone to QPR. Just wanted to say something about him, and again, wish best of luck for Park at his new club. So now let's move on to the first story that I have, and it's to do with another United youngster that is about to leave Old Trafford, and it's Zeki Fryers. As many of you guys knew, a few weeks ago I did a United talk where I was talking about how Fryers was looking to be leaving and go to Tottenham, and that move is looking like it's materialised, just much like the Paul Pogba move to Juventus. And Sir Alex Ferguson, 2 weeks ago when he returned from his vacation in France, he said he didn't know about any move about Zeki Fryers. But since Zeki Fryers hasn't been turning up to training, and that speaks volumes in my opinion. And it does look now that he is about to complete his transfer to Tottenham, and we would be receiving a fee of, I think, about £4 to £6 million as a compensation training kind of like clause that you have with young players nowadays. But I think we're going to receive a significantly less amount than that, because Tottenham no doubt will be going in court, fighting the rules, saying that Zeki Fryers, his contract was out, so there's no point of arguing with them. And yeah, it looks like we're going to lose one of our better reserves players, and that's going to be a sad case, because very like Pogba, he was about to break into the first team, and through his occasional appearances last season in the cup games, we all saw how good he was and the potential he possessed. And that he had the potential to even replace Patrice Evans in the long run. So it is a shame to see another youngster going through the door. But you know, Zeki Fryers, I think his head is turned by his agent, and there's a lot of heated debate about the agent situation within the game with youngsters. So I can definitely see kind of like Zeki Fryers. He's a local Manchester lad, so it's unconceivable to think that he's gonna achieve something better at Spurs, because you know he's local. Where else you gonna go within the country that's gonna improve you? The only clubs I would say, if you were gonna leave United and you know kind of like justifiably go, is to either perhaps Real Madrid or Barcelona. And Zeki Fryers, if he was stuck to us, you know, the money would have found him. And that's one of the things that Sir Alex said: if you're good enough and young enough, then the money will find you. You don't have to go and seeking for the money. So that's one of the disappointing aspects, I guess, to the summer so far, is that our kind of like two prospects within the reserves has left. Well, almost left in Fryers' case, and Pogba has definitely gone to Juventus. So it's kind of disappointing, but no doubt Sir Alex will rebuild the academy structure, and in no time at all we'll have another replacement for him. And there's a really good young talent, plays very similarly to Zeki Fryers, and his name is Tyler Blackett. So keep out for him if you have MUTV. You know, watch some of the academy games from last season, and I was really impressed with Tyler Blackett. So he could be a name that could be pushing through the team this season if he does go on the tour, and when given his chance, could impress. So you never know in football. You win some, you lose some. So Zeki Fryers about to leave for Tottenham is a disappointing case, but like I said, we recover and produce another talent similar like Fryers. So the next story I talk about is someone that has been linked with us numerously over the past few weeks, and it's Lucas Moura. And even I was actually talking about him in the last video, and he has emerged this week. There's some contradictory reports this week. The first one I'll report to you is that the Sao Paulo Vice President, João Paulo de Jesus Lopez, has reported to claim that United and Real Madrid have made a bid for Lucas, and I think this would be excess of £30 million. So this would seem like there is a solid concrete offer that we have for the Lucas Moura, but like I said, we are in stiff competition with Madrid, and that will probably prove a kind of almost a downfall, if you like, because not a lot of Brazilian players go from the Brazilian league straight to the Premier League. They usually go to a league that they're more suited to like perhaps a lower side La Liga team, or even a Portuguese league, establishing themselves within the European kind of like nature of football, and then perhaps moving to a Premier League club. And it looks like Lucas could buck that trade and go straight to Old Trafford. But like I said, there has been contradictory report, and the next one saying that perhaps Sao Paulo are not prepared to sell anymore. So I wouldn't put my money on that he won't come either, because like I said last summer with the David De Gea deal, Atletico Madrid said that they were gonna refuse any offers and stuff like that. So there's a lot of kind of like strategies in playing this transfer game, where the club who is the owner of the player at the moment will try to seek out as much money as they can receive, because these sort of talents won't come along every other day, so they need to make as much profit as possible from them. So you can understand from Sao Paulo's kind of like perspective, trying to get as much money as they can for Lucas. But like I said in the last video, even though he's a good talent, I don't know how he would kind of like adjust himself to the English Premier League within such a short amount of time, and with the hefty price tag that we are going to pay if he does come in excess of 30 million. I don't know how that pressure is going to get to him. So Lucas Moura, it does look like we are definitely in the race, and it looks like we might win it. But like I said, I have doubts over the kind of like his mentality to adjust to the Premier League. So what do you guys think of that story, and how much money would you guys be prepared to pay for Lucas Moura? Leave your comment below, guys. The next story again, is to do with a player that I've talked about in the past, and it's James Rodriguez. As you guys may know, James Rodriguez, I reported a few weeks ago saying how we were very interested and were about to prepare a bid, but it's turned out this week that the £30 million rated Porto winger has kind of like committed himself to Porto for the remaining of this contract. As you guys know, I told you guys that he has a I think 45 to 50 million euros buyout clause within his contracts, and his contract still has 4 years to go, so there's no chance they're gonna let him go for less than that. So it made it almost impossible for us to seriously pursue Rodriguez. So it does seem that we are now concentrating on Lucas Moura more, and in the process James Rodriguez has committed himself to Porto for at least another year. It doesn't mean that we've ended our interest in him altogether. It just means that it's unlikely that we're going to make a move from this summer. Alex is renowned for keeping tab on a player that he likes for a very, very long time, and you know, if he does think a player is that good, he will keep interest, and when the time comes, he will again emerge from the pack and try to sign that player. So it's not a dead course that we won't ever get James Rodriguez. So it doesn't mean, I think Alex is kind of like switched his main target into Lucas Moura. So it does look like James Rodriguez is going to stay for another year at Porto, but you never know. Football is football, so anything could happen. But like I said again, similarly like Lucas, how much would you guys prepare for James Rodriguez, and how would he fit into our formation? Because Ashley Young, we only signed him last summer and he plays very similarly to James Rodriguez. So where would you guys play him, and how much would you guys prepare to pay for him? So leave your comment below about James Rodriguez, guys. The next story I'm going to talk about is to do with Nani. As you guys know, a few weeks ago I said about how Nani's contract situation was stalling, and Nani's representatives were seen to be kind of like making counter offers to United's, and it does seem that he has almost come to the press and almost begging for United to offer him a new contract, because Nani, apparently his representative kind of like reduced their offers a couple of times, but United still feel that it's way over, you know, his current performance levels. So it does seem they are at loggerheads at the moment, but like I said in that last video, Nani is a wonderful talent, and I would definitely be happy to offer him, you know, the 120 or 130,000 pounds he is looking for every week, because you're not going to find a Nani every single day, and we have kind of like brought Nani up all the way since we bought him back for I think about 5 years ago. So Nani is almost a home-bred talent. He has developed his careers and skills over at United, so you know, he does have that win mentality, and he is a superb player on his day. I know a lot of you guys would say about how he is inconsistent, but at the Euros he does prove himself to be a match winner, and you can't ask for any more about that from any player, because Nani, wonderful talent, great feet, can shoot with both feet actually, very strong now, developed himself over the past few years, working on his physique, and now fully suited to Premier League. So Nani, would you guys be happy to offer him the £130,000 that he's looking for? I myself definitely would, because where else are you going to get it? If we were going to had a chance of getting James Rodriguez, then I might have a think, but still I would still prefer Nani over James Rodriguez, because Nani is proven in the Premier League. So what do you guys think of that story? Leave your comment below, guys. And there you guys have it. That's another episode of United Transfer Talk. This is the 12th video now, and I've thoroughly enjoyed my time throughout this process. So if you guys like this video, please rate, comment and subscribe to the channel for more content. And that's it for me, really. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.